Hey, what's up guys? Valley Flying here. I am back. Welcome to the channel. Hey, so Vision Blitz is over. A new Vision Blitz is on right now. We're waiting for an update. The Thanos raid ended. What better time to do episode 2 of Building the Perfect Team series than right now? So, as you could probably guess from the title, I chose to do the best blasters. Now, I really appreciate all of the suggestions, and I probably will get to every single one eventually. But I wanted to do this one because this is a tough class to build around. There's a few classes that if you do just their class, they're tough to build around. This is a tough one. Alright, let's talk about the blaster class just for a little bit. Blasters, they're known for high damage. They could really kill the other team pretty fast. They're also known for very low health, low armor, and there's nobody in the blaster class that can protect them. So there's no real way to protect any of these characters. There's no taunt, so you can't take damage away from a character that you want to keep alive. So I'm thinking the strategy here would be to up their damage as much as possible, get them to go and kill off as many threats as possible before you start taking out the threats on my team. The enemy starts doing that. Now, the big advantage you have is the AI kind of misplays things. So that is where you can win with this team. Now, I don't know if I built a team that could beat everybody. There's a few hard counters to these teams and to this team that I built, and it's tough. This is a tough team to work with, but it can beat a few of the teams if there's certain conditions that are met. So let me just talk about all the characters in the blast real quick. Thor, Rocket, Hand Archer, Winter Soldier, they're all good characters. Punisher is kind of Mercenary Soldier does damage, not too much else. Hydra Grenadier is definitely worth talking about. The two main dispellers, the two only guys that have dispels are Hand Archer and Hydra Grenadier. And I think each of them are good for certain circumstances. I think Drax is going to be the key here, whether you put in Hand Archer or Hydra Grenadier. Karath, really good character, has that tech tag. Bullseye, he's a good damage dealer, but doesn't offer much to the team, so I'm not going to include him in this team. I'm not going to consider him for this team. Hydra Sniper does some good buffs to the team, so definitely worth a consideration. Ravager Boomer and Mercenary Sniper, they both do damage, but not much else. Not much else. Aim Assaulter, not the best character. Aim's kind of weak. Same with Shield Assault and Shield Trooper. Hydra Rifle Trooper is in that class, but just doing damage, not doing too much else. Iron Man, he's one of the, if not the best blaster character in the game. So I think what I'm going to do is base the team around him and his skills, which means that this is probably not a good team for the blaster challenge. I know people wanted me to make a video on all the challenges. I will, but I'm going to do that in a separate video. This team is going to be based around Iron Man. And Kree Cyborg also had some value and was very intriguing. I almost included him in the team until I saw his speed. So let's go check out their kits. Let's go check out Iron Man real quick. Alright. He's got a big AoE attack. Not huge, but it's big. He does some good damage. He's got a huge single target attack. 540% damage on already high base stats. This is what I want to focus on with Iron Man and building the team. Extra crit chance to tech allies and apply extra crit chance to all allies. So with tech allies, they're gaining an extra 20% crit chance. So I think that is big. I think that's what I want to base this team around, is just tech characters. So let's go take a look at who else there is. The other person I wanted to choose is Rocket. Rocket, one of the better characters in the game. Very squishy though, so I'm not sure if he's even going to survive getting his big move off. But tech allies gain 5% extra damage, so you're really starting to build that tech team with these two characters. So the rest of my characters are going to have that tech tag, which means that I had to leave a few out. Winter Soldier, very good character. Doesn't have that tech tag. He does some good damage, but doesn't really help the rest of his team. I mean, he gives an extra crit chance to Hydra allies. Other than that, he's just a huge damage dealer. This is a really good move, but again, with Drax, you're not really getting around that taunt because you have no way to remove that. So I don't know if you want to use this move on a Drax or save it till you could get rid of that taunt. Who else we got? Thor. Thor, a really good character in the right team. Unfortunately, this team that I'm building, he doesn't have that tech tag and he doesn't have anybody to help his speed or to give him extra energy. Thor, I think, is going to be out of this team. I don't even know if he's going to be able to get this move off because these other characters are so squishy. So this Lightning Storm, for me, I think is a non-issue. All right, who else we got? Han Archer. Han Archer has a really good dispel, has some really good damage. No tech tag, though. And that is why I think I'm not going to include him in this. Now, again, this is just theory crafting, so when looking at this team, we're not going to be able to try it out because I don't have Iron Man, I don't have a lot of these characters leveled. So I think I'm going to leave Hannah Archer out just in favor of someone that has that tech tag, and that is Hydra Grenadier. Now, if you look at their dispels, Hydra Grenadier has an attack and could clear 2 positive effects. And I like that because a lot of times when I'm facing a tank, if you could only remove one of their positive effects, you could remove that taunt, but you could remove something else that's there. Maybe it's a regeneration, maybe it's a defense up. But with this, you're more likely to remove that taunt. And getting around that taunt is going to be huge for this team because it's not going to be able to kill a tank and then kill the rest of the team because I'm assuming the other team is well built enough that's not able. So they're going to be able to damage this whole team. You don't have, this team's not having a taunt, so nobody is protected on this team. Anybody could go at any minute. So I hope that this can clear that taunt and really take out let the rest of the team take out the threats. Han Archer, this is another good one, and you got that. I think it's extra 10,000 focus or something. Han Archer and Jessica Jones. Nothing's mentioned about that in their kits, but from the data mine, we know that Han Archer and Jessica Jones have a huge focus when they're using their dispels. This is an all-enemy attack, and you're clearing 1 positive effect. And I think, for me, that 1 positive effect being removed and no tech tag is why Han Archer is out. And let's move on to the next person of the team, Hydra Sniper. So this is the person that's going to buff the team. Does okay damage. The main reason I wanted Hydra Sniper is because you're getting offense up to 3 allies for 1 turn. This team is all based around damage. There's no survivability. All of them are pretty much glass cannons. So the more damage, the more offense you could get. Offense up is going to give whoever gets it 50% more damage. So that is going to be huge. Now, the speed up to himself is okay. Hydra Sniper is not a naturally fast character, so once you get that off, you can get your second turn off quicker. I was going to say pretty quick, but not pretty quick compared to some of these other characters. Now, that's who I wanted to include. The last spot I wasn't sure about. Came down to Karath or Kree Cyborg. I ultimately chose Karath. And let's look at Kree Cyborg's kit. Why I did not choose Kree Cyborg. I like that Kree Cyborg could give ability energy to 1 to 2 allies. 70% chance, which means that if you don't get this off, your team is kind of in a bad position. Kree Cyborg is also very, very slow. That's why I didn't include Kree Cyborg in this team. Karath is one of the faster characters in the game. Plus on spawn, getting speed up for 1 turn. So these 2 moves start off a cooldown. So you could use either of these 2 special moves or the ultimate moves right off the bat. You're getting fast speeds right off the bat as well because you're getting this speed up on a pretty fast character. So unless you're facing a Black Widow or a really fast team, Karath is most likely going first. What else? Big damage here. Heal block, ability block. This move, target lock, you can get taunt on 1 enemy. So if you know a taunt is coming up, you could make sure that another enemy is taunting and you're going to just take out that team. Really good for glass cannons. And I think this move is really good for tanks actually, because they're not able to heal, and if you get this ability block off, they're not taunting for at least one move. It's a high risk move because it's only a 50% chance, but I think it's worth it. This team is not going to be able to beat every single team out there, but against the right team, I think this could win. Let's go and take a look at their stats. Now, the first thing I want to focus on, now, actually, before I take a look at the stats, this is based on MSF.GG's website, based on max gear, which right now is gear 11, level 60, and 7 stars. So not everybody's going to be able to get this. I mean, Iron Man, you can't get him to 7 stars. Rocket, probably not the 7 stars unless he's spending tens of thousands of dollars, because the only way right now to get him is in that Ultimus orbs, which you need a lot of extra shards from 7-star characters. These are the characters that I was thinking about that I didn't include, but you know, if this was not just a recrafting, we'd test out these teams, maybe these guys would be in there. All right, so damage. Hydra Grenadier has some, health. Hydra Grenadier has the most health, so probably going to survive. The big problem with this team is Hydra Sniper and Rocket both have really low health. Hydra Sniper, in addition to low health, has very low armor. Had to double check on this, but this is what is on MSF.G, 664, so not really blocking. The armor's not really helping a lot. Damage, they all have pretty good damage. Rocket has the most damage. Iron Man has the second most, then Hydra Sniper. Karath has the lowest, and Hydra Grenadier, you're not bringing him for his damage. You're bringing him to dispel the team. Armor's not a factor, but this speed, this is going to matter in turn order. So first turn is pretty much going to be Karath, because he has that high speed, plus getting speed up on spawn. Let's go take a look at Karath. So, big enemy of this team is Drax. If you're facing Drax, it might be a good move to go after Drax with his heal block. Or you could use just your single target attack, get slow off. And that, let me go back, because the main consideration for me between Karath and Kree Cyborg, before I saw their speed, was, is it better to give ability energy or better to give slow with their basic? And I thought ability energy was better, but because it's 70% chance and the speed is so low, I did end up going with Karath. So there's a few ways you could go with this. If you slow Drax on his first turn, that taunt is going to last even longer, and maybe you could get it off with the Hydra Grenadier, but again, Hydra Grenadier is so slow, maybe you won't. But you're definitely getting Karath off first turn, and he's probably going before anybody. Again, unless you're facing a Black Widow that speeds up your whole team. Black Panther is pretty fast, Gamora is pretty fast. Other than that, though, I think he's going to be going first. So one of these moves is, you're using one of these moves, unless you're saving it and using this move. Next guy is Rocket. Rocket is pretty fast. Now, if you look at this combo that they could do, if they don't have a taunt up, if there's no Drax on the team, use this takedown shot, big damage, heal block, 50% chance to ability block. Then you come with Rocket. Rocket has this big attack also on his first move. 310% damage. Huge. Let's look at his damage here. Over 6,000 damage at max level. You're getting 310% of that. Big damage. If you use these two guys in conjunction with each other, you're probably taking out one of their threats. Again, unless you get that taunt going up. Next on the list is Iron Man. Now, Iron Man is going to come with an AoE attack. Iron Man's going to come with this Rocket Barrage. It's not a huge AoE attack. But if for some reason Rocket and Karath didn't kill that one target, Iron Man should finish them off with this move. And you're dealing a little damage to everybody else. The big thing is, you got to try to keep him alive for 2 turns. And there's no way you could do that. Same thing with Rocket on his big damage move. You need to keep him alive for 3 turns. There's no real way you can do that. Guaranteed, because you don't have a tank, you don't have a healer, you don't have someone to mitigate any of the damage that they could potentially face. So yeah, you're coming with this big AoE attack. You're probably not going to use this basic. You're probably just going to use this attack so you could get it off a cooldown faster. Then you start to cooldown all over again. And then just hope that you could survive for this Unibeam, and then hope that Rocket survives for his maximum damage. Next on the list, as far as speed, is Hydra Sniper. That's when you're doing your buff. That comes right here. Offense up to 3 allies for 1 turn. Speed up to self. Offense up for 2 turns for himself. And, you know, you're getting extra damage, extra piercing. Already has some piercing with his marksman shot. This shot is going to do some good damage. And against a tank, you're piercing that armor by a little bit. You get extra piercing here. You get piercing right here. So about 30% of the armor is being pierced. And then last, you got Hydra Grenadier. Now, what you probably want to do is remove a taunt if it's there. He's so slow, but a lot of the protectors that have that taunt are probably a little bit slower. So you might be able to get that off. The only thing that you, again, if I could check these guys out, is to go with Hand Archer, get that taunt off a little sooner. Although because it's 1 turn, you might not get that taunt off. I mean, because you're only removing 1 effect, you might not get that taunt off. Now, if you're going for a Drax team, it might be good to put in Hand Archer instead of Hand Grenadier. In all other instances, I think Hand Grenadier is going to be the choice for this team. And that's the way the turn order is going to go. That's the way the first turn is going to go. And at that point, you're just hoping that your main guys like Rocket or Iron Man or someone... I think the main guys you want to protect is Rocket and Iron Man. They both have big moves. Iron Man with his big single target, Rocket with his big AoE. You want to hope that you could keep them alive. I mean, there's nothing you could really do to keep them alive, but just hope that the enemy doesn't target them. Karath could bring in some tricks as well with this taunt that he could apply to kind of go after some more of their threats. He's probably going to go before their taunter because he has a faster speed. Normally, the way the AI works, they don't taunt on their first turn. There are some exceptions, like Drax that we mentioned before. I think Hulk with the AI will taunt on the first turn. Crossbones usually taunts on the first turn, but that's fine because that is a threat that you want to remove anyway. So if Crossbones attacks on that taunts on that first turn, that's fine. What other considerations do we have with this team? I can't think of any, but like the ideas from that first episode, you guys had way better ideas than I have. So let me know what you guys think of this team, what we could do to make this team better. I think it can win against a few of the meta teams, but the real weakness is speed on this team because you need to be able to be faster than the other team. Other weakness is 2 tanks. If you fight a team that has 2 or more tanks, it's probably going to be tough to get around, especially if they are protecting some really high damage dealers or some guys that could really affect your team, and then Drax. But I think if you put Hand Archer instead of Hydra Grenadier, that could take out that Drax problem that you might have. So that is my team. Let's look at them again. Karath, Rocket Raccoon, Iron Man, Hydra Sniper, Hydra Grenadier, and if you're facing Drax, you replace Hydra Grenadier with Hand Archer, and I think that is the best team that we can make right now with just blast characters. This is a tough class to make. I wasn't sure if I could make a good team, and I'm still not sure if this is a good team. On paper, against a few of the teams, it can be good though. In practice, I can't test them out right now because Iron Man brings so much to the team with his extra crit chance for the tech allies, and then he has that 2 big attacks, the AoE and the big single target attack. Let me know what you guys think. Is this the best possible team, the perfect team that you can make with just blasters? There's a few weaknesses that I don't think you could overcome with just the blasters. You need to bring in another class of character for that. But if you're just thinking of this class, I think this is the best team we could possibly make. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Is there something that I'm forgetting about one of these guys' kits? Is there someone that should be in this team that I'm neglecting? Maybe Winter Soldier's good. Winter Soldier's a good character. Maybe he should be in there. Thor's pretty slow. Maybe you guys have some good reasoning why he should be in the team. Let me know in the comments down below. I want to hear from you. I want this to be interactive, not just me giving you guys all advice. I want to hear from you guys because you guys have good ideas. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Hopefully there's an update out today. Maybe it comes out while I'm editing this. We will see. I will definitely send out a tweet and a Facebook post about that when we get that. Hopefully I can make a video in time, but if not, make sure you subscribe to the channels. Click on the notifications so you get notified every time I make a new video. And I will see you guys next time in the next episode and in my next video. Valley Flying, out!